Efyong was 26 years old, an age where life was supposed to be blooming with opportunities, friendships, and love. Yet for Efyong, life felt like a closed door. He had been rejected by almost every girl he ever dared to approach. Some turned him down politely, while others laughed outright at his stiff attitude and unremarkable looks. Efyong was tall but crooked, his face marked by spot scars that no amount of medication had been able to erase. His self-esteem had plummeted so low that even looking in the mirror became an act of courage. Frustrated and yearning for isolation, Efyong decided to accept a job at the town mortuary. It was a quiet place, far removed from the noise of rejection and judgment. People rarely ventured into the mortuary unless they had no choice, and the dead were far less likely to judge his appearance. To Efyong, it seemed like the perfect escape. The job was simple: prepare bodies for burial, clean the morgue, and maintain records. He had no prior experience, but the mortuary director, Mr. Basie, was an aging man who needed help and asked few questions. Efyong's first week was uneventful. The mortuary was quiet, its cold, tiled floors amplifying the echo of every footstep. He found comfort in the solitude, focusing on his tasks and trying not to think too much. But everything changed one rainy evening. The storm had knocked out the power, leaving the mortuary dimly lit by emergency lights. Efyong was in the embalming room, organizing tools, when he heard it, a soft, almost musical hum. He froze.
"Hello,"
he called, his voice trembling. The mortuary was supposed to be empty except for him. No answer. Just the hum, now accompanied by a faint shuffle of feet. Gathering his courage, Efyong followed the sound into the storage room. There, standing among the stainless steel tables and labeled drawers, was a young woman. She was pale, almost clear, with long black hair that seemed to float around her like smoke. Her eyes glowed faintly, a haunting yet mesmerizing light. Efyong's breath caught in his throat.
"You can see me?"
she asked, her voice soft but tinged with surprise. Efyong nodded, too stunned to speak, but managed, and called out her name.
"Tessie, what happened to you? What are you doing in the mortuary?"
Meanwhile, Tessie was the only girl among other girls who did not respond to Efyong badly or insult him. After 2 years, Efyong could not see her again. Efyong said,
"Where did you go? I have been searching to see you. No one agreed to disclose your whereabouts to me."
Tessie stood a distance away, looking straight to Efyong. Her name was Tessie, and she had died in a tragic car accident 2 years back. Efyong learned this during their first conversation, which stretched into hours. Tessie's ghost had been tethered to the mortuary, unable to move on, and she had spent her days wandering its halls, invisible and alone. Over time, their friendship deepened. Tessie was witty, kind, and had an air of wisdom that belied her youthful appearance. She listened to Efyong's woes without judgment, offering comfort in a way no one else ever had. Efyong, in turn, gave her the company she had craved for so long.
"Why are you still here? You should have gone to the heavens." Tessie.
Efyong asked one evening as they sat in the embalming room, the faint hum of the refrigeration units their only backdrop. Tessie's expression grew somber.
"I have been here for 2 years now. No one ever noticed me before. I think I am afraid to leave."
Efyong nodded, understanding the feeling all too well. They were both stuck, in different ways. One night, as their connection grew stronger, Efyong felt a desire that he had never experienced with such intensity before. Sitting together in the dim light of the mortuary, he reached for Tessie's hand. Her clear fingers felt like a cool breeze against his skin, and he looked into her glowing eyes. He whispered,
"I feel so close to you. I wish I can kiss you. I think for the first time, I am in love with a girl."
His voice trailed off, his cheeks flushing with embarrassment. She tilted her head, her expression a mix of curiosity and sadness. She said gently,
"Efyong, you know that is not possible again. Then I always wanted to give us a chance to be friends. But my friends discouraged me."
But Efyong couldn't stop himself. He leaned closer, his heart pounding, and tried to kiss her. For a fleeting moment, he felt a strange, electric sensation, like static in the air. But then, nothing. His lips passed through her as if she were made of smoke. Tessie said to Efyong,
"I always knew you to be a nice person. But you know, I do not have a body again to give."
Efyong pulled back, his face burning with shame.
"I am sorry. I just don't know what I was thinking."
Tessie's form flashed, and she placed her ghostly hand on his cheek.
It is okay, Efyong. I understand, but I am not part of your world anymore. You have to find someone who is, or if you really want to have me, as I am now. You must do something that is very brutal.
Spending time with Tessie changed Efyong. Her acceptance of him, flaws and all, gave him a new sense of confidence. She encouraged him to take better care of himself, and he began exercising, eating healthier, and even trying new hobbies. For the first time in years, Efyong started to feel alive. But their bond wasn't without complications. The living world and the spirit world were never meant to intertwine so closely. Strange things began happening around Efyong. Lights flickered when he was upset, objects moved on their own, and he started having vivid dreams of places he'd never been.
You are changing,
Tessie said one night, her clear hand brushing against his dot said.
Spending time with me, it's affecting you.
Efyong asked.
Is that bad?
She hesitated.
I don't know.
The strange occurrences around Efyong eventually caught the attention of others in town, including some of the women who had rejected him. They couldn't help but notice his newfound confidence, and some began to reconsider their earlier judgments. But when word spread that he had been spending time in the mortuary talking to a ghost, curiosity turned into gossip. One evening, Efyong was approached by two women he had once admired, Eket and Ikarayan, at a local food shop. They cornered him near the counter, their faces a mixture of curiosity and frustration. Eket began, crossing her arms.
Efyong, we need to talk.
Eket rolled her eyes.
Is it true? Are you seriously ignoring everyone because you are obsessed with some ghost?
Efyong said, raising his hands defensively.
What are you talking about?
Ikarayan said.
Yes, well, maybe we were wrong. But now, you are looking alright. We can hang out together, rather than wasting your life with some sort of a ghost.
Efyong said firmly, his voice rising.
Wait. Tessie is my friend, she is the only one who did not judge me or make me feel worthless. And honestly, if you think I am going to drop everything just because you suddenly changed your mind, you are wrong.
So what? You are just going to spend your life with a ghost? That is insane, Efyong.
What is insane is pretending to care about me now, just because I have changed. Tessie saw who I was before anyone else did, and she accepted me. Can either of you say the same?
Eket said.
Oh, come on, everyone is talking about how you have been holed up in that mortuary, and now you are acting like you don't even notice us anymore. What is wrong with you?
Efyong's eyes hardened said.
You rejected me. Remember. I thought you made it pretty clear how you felt.
The argument drew the attention of nearby persons, and Ikarayan and Eket exchanged awkward glances. Finally, Ikarayan sighed and said.
Whatever, Efyong. Do what you want, but don't expect us to stick around when you realize how ridiculous this is.
As they left, Efyong felt a strange mix of anger and relief. For once, he had stood up for himself. And as he walked out of the food shop, he thought he saw a faint, familiar glow in the distance, a reminder of the friend who had taught him his worth. As months turned into a year, Efyong faced a dilemma. He had grown to love Tessie in a way he hadn't thought possible, but their relationship was unsustainable. He was alive, she was not. The realization gnawed at him, especially as he began attracting attention from people in the living world. One day, Efyong was very disturbed about his feeling for Tessie, decided to make Tessie see reasons to allow him kiss or have intimacy with her. On cool calmed morning as usual, Efyong asked,
Tessie, you said something other day.
His voice breaking.
I don't want to lose you, please, what can I do to make you stay here with me?
Tessie's flashed, as if her resolve wavered.
Efyong, you can't bring me back. But I can leave you with a gift. But the procedures are what I don't know, if you can go through it.
Efyong, for the first time he has found love, he is ready to do anything to keep it. Efyong said to Tessie,
Please, let me hear.
Tessie stared at Efyong for some minute, said,
Look for a young corpse of my age. Place her on the floor. I will then come into her body. Then you can come into me through her body.
Efyong, hearing this was very worried, said to Tessie.
Is there no other way than this?
Tessie said,
For me to leave you with a gift, that is the only way possible.
Efyong kept quiet for some minute, said to Tessie,
Please let's look for another option than this. I really want to do something to keep my love.
Tessie said,
If you really want this gift, you have to do what I told you.
The next day, Efyong went to work early to prepare. He quickly remembered a 26-year-old lady that died a week ago, decided to use her body. Tessie asked Efyong,
Are you sure you want to do this?
Efyong hesitated for a while, asked Tessie.
What gift is it?
Tessie stood close to where Efyong was, said,
Gift to see through the spirit anytime you want to see me.
Tessie entered into the body. Efyong made love to the body. Then unexpected happened. The death body glued to Efyong's body and refused to separate from each other. Efyong can only see Tessie far away looking at him struggling to be free himself. Efyong called out to Tessie,
Please, what is happening? I can't free myself.
Meanwhile, Tessie refused to help Efyong, said to him,
If I ever leave, I will take you with me.
She said angrily.
I can't leave you behind. We will be together forever. When we leave this world, I was waiting for a time like this.
She said with anger in her eyes. Efyong cried, glancing over the face of the death body glued to his. The sound of footsteps grew louder, each step a hammer to his racing heart. Efyong muttered, his voice cracking. Tears blurred his eyes. Efyong pleaded,
Please no, not like this. I did not mean for this to happen. Tessie, this is not right. I belong here.
But the world didn't wait, and neither did the danger closing in. And as the earth faded beneath them, Efyong realized his gambling wasn't just deep, it was eternal, and now, inescapable. Immediately, Efyong, seeing that he is in a serious danger, remembered the advice of his mother, who always advised him not to forget the name of Jesus that serves in time of danger. Immediately shouted,
My Lord Jesus, please show me mercy, Lord, I have done evil against you and humanity.
Immediately, the hands of death disappeared. Tessie couldn't stand the temperature of God's mercy. Disappeared with a loud sound of pain. Efyong was let loose from the death body. Seeing he is free, quickly ran to the church and lay on the ground crying and appreciating Jesus.